This video will look at how to set up drivers on RSLinx. RSLinx sets up communications between your workstation and the controller. Right now, we're seeing that there are no controllers available. I've deleted all the drivers so we can create one and go through that process. So what I'll do is select this icon, Configure Drivers. Our controllers use the Ethernet IP driver, so we'll select that and add a new one. It's probably a good idea to name this in a way that you'll recognize. So let's call it Spring 2019. On this screen, it's asking which network adapter to use. I'll select this USB adapter. I see that the driver is running. I can also configure how it starts up. Normally I'd like automatic. However, you may have lots of drivers, so you may want to select manual startup. It's really your choice. I'll go with automatic. So if I select the plus sign, I'll expand the network and I'll see all of the available controllers. These controllers are Allen Bradley products. So I get an image that shows what it is. I get a product name as well. These icons represent Compact Logix controllers. This represents a Control Logix controller. If I click on the plus sign, I can expand the controller itself, and eventually I'll see a controller, the processor itself, and possibly some additional cards. Let's look at this one. I think it has, yes, this one has an expansion module on it. So I have the processor itself. I have embedded I/O, which is a 16 in, 16 out. And I also have an add-on card, which is a 4-to-20 analog input card. This processor is next to me, the 102. If I select it, I notice that I have the CPU, and I also have embedded I/O. So this is a Compact Logix controller with 16 in, 16 out. This is a Control Logix controller with only a processor but no I/O modules. So I can get information about the controller itself, what's connected to it. So that's what I can get from this screen. If I look at these are not Allen Bradley products. So I get a question mark. It's an HMI, so it's a touch screen, but it's not created, it was not produced by Allen Bradley. One of the interesting things about Lynx is that if I right-click on a controller and go to Data Monitor, I can watch the data inside the controller. So I'm not actually connecting to it in any official way. I'm just monitoring what's going on. I like to use this just to see if the controller is working. So for example, if all of the information is static, there's a possibility that it's not in run mode. This one I know is working because the data is changing. I have information I can look at here. If I'm creating a touchscreen application, I might need to know the tag name. So I can use Data Monitor to get some information on tag names and data types as well. So that concludes this video. We'll create some additional videos to show more details later, but let's go through this again and create a new driver. What I'll attempt to do is stop this one. It's busy right now, so I can't stop it. Let's create a new driver, an Ethernet IP driver. We'll call this another driver. I'll use the same adapter. I'll close that, look at another driver, and I'll see that I have the same information. If I unplug a controller, it will drop off the network and I'll get a red X. So if you're working on a project and you see red X's, you have a problem. You probably have a cord that came loose or a network switch that has lost power. Something's wrong. So if you can't see the controller, you can't talk to it. So make sure that you can see your controllers before you put any time and effort into creating programs. This concludes this video, and we'll look at RS Studio next.